In this video, I want to talk about choosing strike prices. Now, an options contract has two main elements, the expiration date and the strike price. And that's true whether it's a put or a call. So choosing the strike price is very important, as is, of course, what you're asking it for a premium. But to illustrate that, I'm going to bring up my Robinhood account and talk about that in more detail. So give me just a second to set this up. In this video, I want to talk about the decisions you have to make when you place orders. Now, whether or not you're selling puts or calls will depend on whether or not you have cash or stock. If you have cash, then the only thing you can write is a put. If you have stock, the only thing you can write covered by that stock is a call. If you have a combination of both, then you can write puts and calls, but only by the amount that you can cover through your cash or your stock. All right, now that that's clear, let me share the screen. Now, HBI closed at 7:24 on Friday. I've got 200 shares of HBI stock on hand, upon which I need to sell calls. Now, what you see here are the bid prices, the last bid. So I sold two contracts with a 30-cent ask, which I'm expecting to be filled almost immediately when the market opens. Now I'd have to look back at the history, but I think I got 40 cents better a share for that stock when it was purchased at 7.50. So between that and the 30 cents, that's 75 cents. So even in net profit terms, I'm doing okay. Remember, we're only talking about 5 days. So these earnings are in 5 days, not a year, not a month, not a quarter. Okay, so why didn't I set a $6 strike and collect $1.10? Well, what I've done here is I've created a bigger spread between the 7.50 cost basis and the $6 strike price. So now I need $1.50 just to cover the spread. Now remember, I got my cost basis on that 7.50. But I got, I think, 40 something cents a share. So that would give me $1.50 plus a dime. So that would be, in terms of profit, would be break even or maybe a dime profit. But the point I'm making here is this is highly leveraged. If the market goes down, then my replacement cost will go down, and I will have done very well because I'm leveraged. The same holds true if I looking at the put. I'm selling 17 contracts with a 7.50 strike, and I'm asking 45. So here again, why didn't I set a strike price of 8 and get 75, or a strike price of 9 and get $1.70? But unless I had a magic ball, which was going to say that this stock is just suddenly going to increase in price, I'm highly leveraged, and if the market goes against me, then I'm going to have little no profit, or worse, I might even have a small loss. So I don't recommend that. I try to get as close to the strike, set a strike as close to the share price as I can. And in this case, for the put, that is going to be $7.50, and for the call, that's going to be $7. Okay. Call. Put. So it's important to think about your spread and the fact that you really need to have accumulated premiums between the put and the call that exceeds the spread. Now, we're talking about actual profit now in terms of generally accepted accounting practices. This doesn't speak to the matter of free cash flow. I can have positive free cash flow even if I have a negative actual, in other words, if I have a loss in terms of generally accepted accounting practices. And how could this be? Well, because with free cash flow, your holdings are not marked to market. And what's important is not what you sold it for or what you paid for it, but what it costs to replace it. Because what free cash flow does is it gives you ability to keep on writing contracts in equal or greater numbers, which keeps the income flow or income stream going and maybe even increasing. I know that's a little bit hard to wrap your head around. It may sound a little bit counterintuitive, but it, in fact, works that way. And remember, we're talking about a week-long contract. Now, if I went out to next week, then you see the numbers change quite a bit. There, I could go to 55 or 60 cents. But remember, that is spread out over 2 weeks, not 1 week. So the revenue is actually better for me if I do it on a weekly basis. Plus, it cuts my window of exposure. We're going to see some false runs toward the market recovery, but we haven't seen the worst of it yet. If the Fed continues to increase rates, which I expect they will because they should, we're going to see the market react negatively to that. And God forbid, if something happens bad over in Europe with the war in Ukraine, this thing could tumble overnight. And one other thing I ought to mention about a stock like HBI, the only reason it's as popular as it is because it pays a great dividend. I mean, at these prices, the dividend works out to be over 5%. So what could kill the price on this, and it's unlikely, but it could, is if they suspended or cut their dividend. You'd see the stock drop maybe 20% overnight. So there is risk. And but as long as we keep the cash flowing, either we're going to make a profit or mitigate the loss, one of the two. And the market is a wicked beast. What can I say? Anyway, I hope that helps you understand about strike prices, expiration dates, and premiums. Because if you get into this, you're actually going to have to place orders. And the first time you do that, that's a really scary thing. Once you've done that a few times and understand that the sky didn't fall, you're going to be okay. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Please subscribe, like, and notify buttons, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.